Welcome back to the channel. Today I need to move a bunch of cars over to the new shop. But first, before I do that, I want to clean up my 95 3000 GT VR4 because as you can see behind me, she's really dusty, she's really neglected, but fortunately enough, this car runs and drives. When I originally got this car, it was black and I found it on the side of a guy's house and it had been sitting in the Colorado sun for 10 years, not running and driving. And every seal, all the paint was completely destroyed. Also, it had a rod knock and I swapped a whole brand new drivetrain in this thing. So this thing runs and drives flawlessly. I did put coilovers on it. I do have work motions on it and I cannot wait to finally have this thing all the way completed. I've just really put this on a back burner because I was finding side skirts for it. And weirdly enough, it is very difficult to find side skirts for this vehicle, even though Mitsubishi made these in the US and Japan overseas, and it was from 94 to 99. You would think they would have a bunch of these side skirts laying around. So I was fortunate enough to find a brand new passenger side skirt, but it took me a very long time to find a good usable driver side skirt. So I have everything, just need to paint the side skirts and the cladding, and then assemble the rest of the car. But let's get her cleaned up, ready to drive over to the new shop. And this car is actually going to sit on the clean side because it has already been painted. As you can see, it is very dusty, and that is just one downfall of sitting on the side that you're working on stuff. Also, this building isn't very sealed and it's high desert, so a lot of dust does get on the vehicle. Plus, my new glass roof has been at home because it was a brand new one from Mitsubishi, and I didn't want it to get damaged because I still don't have the rear mechanism that holds it down. Also, when I painted the car, I did find a brand new combat wing hatch, brand new combat wing from Mitsubishi, and then I did get a brand new front bumper, brand new headlights and marker lights. So most of this car on the exterior is brand new windshield, quarter glasses, all that stuff, because I wanted this thing to be in tip-top shape after it was all put together. So let's get her outside, get her cleaned up, and then we'll take this car, I'll drive it, and then I'm going to take maybe the FD. I'm not 100% sure what we're doing with this because I need to have my friend PDR it, and then I'm going to end up repainting this car because I want it to look really nice. Plus, I have some parts that are getting machined for the intake manifold. That's just a 3D printed one. And then when I paint it, I'm going to get rid of this. I hate this rock texture stuff. This is supposedly supposed to eliminate rock chips. I just want it to look all nice and black like this. So originally I wanted to paint this a Porsche green, but I don't want to sound like a Corvette guy. This is a pretty rare car. So a lot of people are looking for the yellow FDs, but this is a 95, I believe it's a Touring R2. It's one of like 80 or something like that, made in 95. There wasn't very many FDs in total made in 95 in the US. I think the total number of them was like 280 altogether. So this is a pretty rare car. The yellow ones aren't even as rare as this black. This is a brilliant black Touring R2 with leather interior. I wish it didn't have a sunroof, but it did. And yeah, we'll get everything finished on this once I have that intake manifold. So this is either going to go over to my friends and then we're going to bring the ZR1 over to the new shop, or I'll take this over to the new shop for now and then we'll bring the ZR1 over later. And then maybe if the weather's good and it's not raining, we'll bring the 240Z and the blue 240, my high school car, up there. So I really want to get this thing back on the road because this was a car that I had in high school and it just, unfortunately enough, had a shop do a bunch of bad work on it. And then it's been in this state, kind of a state of limbo for a long time. Since 2011, I think, is the last time I drove it. So that's a very long time to not drive a car, but keep it in pretty pristine condition, other than all the front end damage that the body shop caused, the prior body shop. So let's get the VR4 outside and clean her up. And this is exactly why I do all my own work, because this would have never happened if I would have done it. It looks a little bit better out in the sun. Still dusty, not super shiny because of the dust, but we'll get it cleaned up. The one thing is I just need to be careful. I could get some water in here, but I don't want to get a ton of water just because the carpet was clean. I'm going to vacuum everything and clean the dash, clean the seats. I have one normal seat. These were super hard anyway because this was originally out of the car and they were like a rock, and I did do some leather conditioning. They're still a little bit soft, but they're still kind of hard now. But yeah, we'll get everything cleaned up and kind of ready to go. after another long day of moving, I now have the FC in the other shop, and I have the FD and the VR4 in the clean shop. Obviously the FD doesn't run and drive currently just because I need to finish up some turbo components. I made my own turbo manifold, have a 9180 EFR turbo for it, and then I have a whole intake manifold that I designed that I finished 3D printing it. It all fits now. I have the engine in the car, made sure everything was going to clear the hood, which it sits way lower than any of the other FD intake manifolds on the market, which is great because it sits underneath the strut towers, which is cool. And then everything is behind the strut towers now, or close to behind the strut towers. So the weight distribution is going to get a lot better. It'll be more improved than anything that's out on the, in the market currently. So that will be running and driving pretty soon coming up. But the VR4, it was fun driving the car. I miss driving it. I need to finish up the last few little things that just have really been holding me back. I need to paint the side skirts. I need to paint the cladding. Like I said before, it took me almost 2 years to find a Passioner brand new side skirt. I was never able to find a driver brand new side skirt, so I found a good usable one, and those are all ready for paint. And so is a bunch of stuff for the FD. So the FD did get hailed on, but my friend Chris is going to help me PDR it, and then I'm going to repaint the whole car anyway. The paint on the car wasn't the best to begin with, and it definitely has been painted before. So I'm going to end the video here. Just really stoked that these are now sitting in the new shop, the clean side of the shop, or the clean shop building, with all the stuff that's going to be clean. Like I said before, I want to put 2 or 3 car lifts in here and just have everything in here nice and clean, so it's not going to get dusty. It's going to stay clean. I'll probably end up even covering the cars up with car covers when they're on the lifts, and I want to be able to have everything so it runs and drives, and anything that I want to drive that's in this shop, I pretty much can just come in here, pull it off the lift or pull it out of the shop and go take it for a nice drive, because these cars need to be driven, and currently they're not being driven enough. But I've been working on other projects so much that I just really need to get back to driving cars and going to events and doing fun stuff. And I think this new shop is going to help me with that. Plus my friend Chris, we're gonna do a bunch of cool stuff with his cars, get some of his projects done as well. And it'll be a lot nicer, not just working on stuff by myself and just, it's just kind of boring when you do videos by yourself. So I am going to end the video here. If you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below. As always, see you guys next time.